This Week in Economics on the 3rd of October 2015. Numbers Man here. We'll be talking jobs, the jobs reports that are out, and then we'll get into some new tools, micro-prudential tools, a speech to the Fed in Boston by Dudley, who is the chair of the New York Fed. But firstly here, let's read very briefly a headline. Well, we'll go straight to the numbers themselves. Nonetheless, this is the situation here, the employment situation summary from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And we'll cut immediately to the chase. This is a household survey. We've talked about these various surveys. Total non-farm payroll and employment increased by 142,000 in September. And the unemployment rate was unchanged at 5.1%. And we'll get the household survey. The unemployment rate held at 5.1%, and the number of unemployed persons 7.9 million, changed little over the year. The unemployment rate and the number of unemployed persons were down 0.8%. And 1.3 million respectively. Among the major work groups, the unemployment rate for adult men fell to 4.7%, adult women 4.6%, teenagers 16.3%, for Europeans 4.4%, for African Americans 9.2%, for Asians 3.6%, and Latinos 6.4%, showed little or no change in September. The number of persons unemployed for less than 5 weeks increased by 268,000 to 2.4 million in September, particularly offsetting a decline in August. The number of long-term unemployed jobless for 27 weeks or more was little changed at 2.1 million in September, accounted for 26.6% of unemployed there. The civilian labor force participation rate declined to 62.4 in September. The rate had been 62.6 for the prior 3 months. The unemployment population ratio was down to 59.2 in September after showing little movement for the first 8 months of the year. The number of persons employed part-time for economic reasons, sometimes referred to as involuntary part-time workers, declined 447,000 to 6 million in September. These individuals who would have preferred full-time employment were working a part-time because their hours had been cut back, or because they were unable to find a full-time work. For that reason, declined by 1 million there in September. 1.9 million persons were marginally attached to the labor force, down by 350,000 from a year earlier. The data was not seasonally adjusted. Among the marginally attached, there was 635,000 discouraged workers in September, little change from a year earlier. The data, of course, was not seasonally adjusted there. Now we'll go from the household survey to the establishment survey data. The total non-farm payroll employment increased by 142,000 in September. Thus far in 2015, job growth has averaged 198,000 per month, compared with an average gain of 260,000 in 2014. In September, job gain occurred in healthcare and information while employment in mining continued to decline. Healthcare added 34,000 jobs in September, in line with the average increase of 38,000 per month over the prior 12 months. Excuse me. Hospitals accounted for 16,000 of the gain in September, and employment is in inventory help continued to trend up at 13,000. Employment information technology increased 12,000 in September and has increased by 44,000 over the year. Employment in professional and business services continued to trend up in September. 31,000 there. Job growth has averaged 45,000 per month thus far in Q5, compared with an average gain of 59,000 in 2014. In September, job gain occurred in computer system design related services 47,000 and in legal services at 5,000. Retail trade employment trended up in September 24,000, in line with its average monthly gain over the prior 12 months at 27,000 there. In September, employment rose in general merchandising stores 10,000 and automobile dealerships at 5,000. Employment in food services and drinking places continued an upward trend in September. 1,000 there over the year. This industry has added 349,000 jobs, and incidentally, in some places there's a shortage in restaurant workers due to a low pay or remuneration. Employment in mining continued to decline in September, negative 10,000, with losses are concentrated in support activities. For mining, 7,000 there. Mining employment has declined by 102,000 since the peak in December of 2014. Employment of major industries, including construction, manufacturing, wholesale trade, transportation, warehousing, financial activities, and government, showed little or no change there. The average work week in private non-payroll declined by 1/10 hour to 34.5 hours in September. The manufacturing work week decreased by 2/10 an hour to 40.6. A little overtime built in there. Factory overtime declined 2/10 an hour to 3.1 hours. The average work week for production non-supervisory workers declined 1/10 an hour to 33.6 hours. In September, the hourly earnings for all employees on private and non-farm payrolls was $25.09. Little change there. And the change in total non-farm payroll employment for July was revised from 240,000 to 223,000. And the change for August was revised from 173,000 to 136,000. With those revisions, employment gains in July and August combined were 59,000 less. And that's why it fluctuates along quite a bit there. And a summary here, the Department of Labor puts this out: 67 consecutive months of private growth in the job market. This is kind of a little summary that they put in here, so you can see it when you come in, and then of course you get to the more detail, which we just covered there. And I was looking for something else here. Anyway, let me go to the other estimate of employment here from the accounting people. Let me see. ADP there. National Employment Report 200,000. Small Business Report 37,000. National Franchise Report 33,000. In August, 190,000 was their report. 85,000 from small business national franchises. 22,000 there. In July. Now this was their. Let's see if we can get to this employment report. This is the accounting service ADP. Let me just go to their data to prop up here. Nonetheless, this was issued in Roseland, New Jersey, on the 30th of September. Private sector employment increased by 200 jobs from August to September. That's according to their national employment record. And this is not the household survey. This is a private particular deal here. And it was 200,000 small businesses, 37,000 1 to 19 at 19,000, and 20 to 49 at also 19,000. Medium 106,000. That's sector good producing 12. Service per sector 188,000. In a snapshot here, construction with them 35,000. Manufacturing minus 15,000. Transportation 15,000, and professional business service at 29,000. This is payroll for businesses with increased by 37. These are payrolls here. Manufacturing dropped into negative territory, losing to 15,000, and service-oriented employment rose by 188,000 in September from 117. The ADP National Employment Report indicates professional business services. We already talked about that. This is from Mark Zandi. He's the chief economist at Moody's Analytics. The U.S. job machine continues to produce jobs at a strong, consistent pace. Despite job losses in energy and manufacturing, the economy is creating close to 200,000 per month. At this pace, is full employment is fast approaching. Well, I think he would want to revise that after the department, the statistics from the Labor Department came out. Now, this is a monthly measurement of changes in total non-farm private employment derived from actual anonymous payroll data of all clients served by ADP, a leading provider of accounting services, provider what they call human capital management solutions. Now they've changed it, and that insight around employment trends and workforce strategy in collaboration with Moody's Analytical. So they've changed it a little bit. The data from this report is collected for the pay periods that can be postulated in including weeks of the 12 process with statistical methodology similar to those used by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, to compare employment from the monthly survey establishment survey. Due to this process, the subset is modified to make it indicative of the national employment levels. Therefore, resulting change there in this report are not representative changes in ET-base U.S. Clients. And Moody Analytical, they talk about it as a subsidiary of Moody Corporation. There, ADP, of course, powerful technology plus a human touch there. And so this was put out by them. They had 200,000 jobs in their particular survey that they put out, and as opposed to the Department of Commerce survey that was put out here. Now this is household, etc. So they came up with 242,000. Is a different methodology there. So you can look at the two, but basically they are telling you the same thing. you need about 350,000